Hello, everybody. I am going to be reading a book I made and also look back so I can add it on to the story. This is a fan-made OC for the Welcome Home Neverland AU. I will release the original creator because I'm going to have trouble saying her name. But one thing I did get the timelines for this of when all of this started to happen. But anyway, my character's name is Kiana. I said the name wrong. It's a Kiana. Anyway, I will start reading the story. One night on the cold nightfall, one of Captain Holmes' crewmates broke into a house, taking gold, necklaces, silver, anything they could find. But they saw a baby crib. Since back in the old days, they probably figured they would keep treasure. And the children were adults and they didn't have kids. So they, without looking or checking, see it was an actual child, they took the gift. They took it along with them. Not knowing there was a real child inside. Side of the story of the They descended back to Neverland, and once they got back to Neverland, they heard crying inside the pile of treasure. And when Captain Holmes opened the blanket, thinking what was making the crying, there was a baby, a small little baby puppet. The species for her, though, was unknown, so everyone was shocked, couldn't believe that there was a baby, and thinking not to blame the person who went to that house, and the baby was still crying. So Captain Holmes approached it. They knew how reckless Captain Holmes was, so they figured he was going to obviously hurt the child. But instead, surprisingly, Captain was calming the baby down. Captain, what are we going to do with this baby? One of Captain Holmes' crewmate asked. I'm going to have someone and myself raise this child as our own, he said, looking at his crew. Who? Another crewmate said. That is none of your business. Get back to work, he yelled, covering the baby's ears. Make sure the baby didn't cry more. And everyone went back to doing work. Surprisingly, he was able to summon Poppy. By the way, guys, in the actual lore between both, it is not true that he did summon Poppy or that him and Poppy would actually have talked like this, so it doesn't my AU fandom non-canon. Anyway, Poppy was confused of why Holmes was holding a young child in his hand. He explained to Poppy about the child was now on Neverland, and lying, saying there was no way of going back, lying, saying the sun was rising, it would get suspicious, and there's no way to bring a child back. And this was long before Wally and all the other neighbors showed up. So they didn't know what to do. So he obviously lied, as the liar he was. Still, they both agreed to look after the child. The child mostly stayed on Neverland, though learn magic and learn about the world, and was never allowed to share any information about anything that would have been happening on the island. Sorry about that. And home was not to hurt the child, and child would sometimes stay on the ship to get to learn how to defend in case of any danger, and Captain Holmes wasn't around to keep the child safe. They both agreed and shook the hands, or I guess in Poppy's case, and Captain Holmes, the feather and the black smoke. Now at this time, Kaya was around 3 years old, only showing her little wolf ears and tail. And that was when hearing Poppy singing in the Neverland tree as a welcome home to you. Curious, climbing up the tree, a small fairy, Wally, landed right there. Kyra asked, being a curious little child, "Is that my baby brother or sister?" Poppy laughed, giggling, and said, "No, Kyra, this is a fairy. His name will be Wally. Now, he will protect you along with another fairy." She revealed in a small little box, showing 2 dancers and a beautiful music box. And out came out a small fairy, another one, when their name was Keith. He was a bit of a interesting creature, but of course, nonetheless, it was for Kai's own safety. Now, around the time Kai was 7, one night on the ship, she learned a new ability. She grew powers since on Neverland she was developing powers, and Home didn't even know. He didn't give her powers either at the time. This gave her special abilities, which he will learn soon. And she decided to play a prank, sneaking up to Captain Home and scaring him, or surprising him, showing new powers. But heard talking and saw Home killing one of the crewmates, after killing a few, since invisible and making sure they weren't spotted or sensed by Home. They saw him Valiant captured another glass in the lantern, saying, "Bring more." course, Kaya ran back into the room that she slept in, wishing not to be like her father, the man that she trusted, knowing what he really was, what he had done. Over time, around the age of eight, and of course, this happened after, and of course, the incident of finding out Holmes' true self was at 7. Kira developed 2 new ears, like bunny ears, and grown wings. It was very shocking and surprising for Home and Poppy. Of course, Howard got to meet some of the new crewmates. Crewmates. First was Julie, and she was Julie and a few of the others. The others, which I think was Sally and Eddie. It would be Eddie and Julie and Bundy. And around the age of 10, she now when she turned 10, she met almost all of the crewmates except for Peter, aka Ryan. Sorry guys if you hear my baby cousin. I think she's looking for me. Anyway, sorry. Kaya had found out more about Holmes' plans and wanted to stop Holmes from doing the crime he was committing. At age 14, Ryan and Red finally met during one of their adventures. And one thing, now at the age of probably 19 years old, Kaya bit of home power between her chest, covering the eye of another part of covering her other eye, and not still seeming like she belongs. Until she fights and learns more about her past and the future that will hold her through a lifetime. And this is the origin story of our brave and fearless good friend. And after all, she will be the warriors of the northern 7 seas, the future between good and evil of Welcome Home, Neverland. Hope you guys enjoyed this story of the origin of her past. By the way, the original creator of the Welcome Home Neverland AU is Falling Pegasus. Make sure you guys go check them out. They have all of the characters' backstory and more about the characters' lore of the Welcome Home Neverland. See you guys soon.